Thank you. And while I'm acutely aware that I'm standing between yourselves and a well-deserved drink, I would like to just offer a few of my thoughts about what's going on here, because I think what you're doing here is really important. The changes that we're seeing across the world, we're seeing just as acutely here in South Australia and here in this region. They are changes like a changing, unpredictable climate with more extreme weather events. They are changes like the dramatic increase in technological innovation that puts the old way of working out of business only as soon as we've started to learn how to do that. They're about urbanisation, where increasingly there's a draw to the big cities, which does enormous harm to the culture and the vibrancy of regional towns and smaller. We're seeing the consolidation of big money, which means that for small businesses, particularly agricultural businesses, there's tremendous pressure to sell up to the bigger company. We're also seeing the continuing after effects of the global financial crisis. We are now very much one world. What happens in one part of the world affects all others. And while we came through it remarkably well as a nation, we have the ongoing impacts of the slower economies overseas to sell our products to, and the very big shift in the capacity for us to have heavy, large manufacturing. What we saw was not only a slowdown for where we could sell those products, but also our dollar went crazy, and we tipped over into starting to lose the big manufacturing, such as the new car build. All of these have had an impact on this country, on this state, and as I say, on this region. And I'm telling you what you already know. But what's really important is what we can do about that and the incredible strengths that we have right here to respond to those challenges better than nearly every part of the world. We have an extraordinarily strong and high quality education and training system. Our schools do a terrific job. What we need to make sure we get through to our kids is they have to show up to school and they have to finish school. This is no longer a country where you can afford to be a low-skilled worker. Every kid needs to attend school, they need to finish school, and they need to plan for a life of learning. We also have the remarkable strengths of TAFE, of the private providers, and of our universities. 3 world-class universities in a relatively small population. Universities that teach, but also do research. Another strength we have as a state is that we have a culture that is about entrepreneurialism. It is about a meritocracy, where we're not interested in how much someone's parents earn or what their parents' job is. We're interested in what they're capable of doing, and we must never lose that. And meritocracy is absolutely essential to being successful, and it's one of the big challenges for some of the nations that we trade with, that they are yet to grasp the importance of egalitarian meritocracy. But we have that. The third thing we have, which is what we've seen today, is an incredible capacity to work together, to look after each other and to learn from each other. And what you've seen today really is just a snapshot of what you can learn, a snapshot of who you can connect with. But we have a state government, a federal government and a local government. We have communities, we have private companies, all of whom have the capacity and the will to work together to make our economy and our society stronger. And today is a tremendous example of that. I'd like to thank the people who organised this. I know Brand SA did a lot of the work, did all the work probably, but that PIRSA, the Primary Industries and Regions SA, and the Department for State Development hosted today. We have the 3 partners, the 3 universities, Flinders University, Adelaide University and the University of South Australia, and they each produced excellent speakers. And then we had all the other people who spoke today, who offered their insight and their views. And, not coincidentally from my appetite, some of my favourite products were talked about. Fleurier milk, it's the only milk we ever get now in our house. It's fantastic. Hood eggs, I have to make sure that I track them down because I'm very, very keen on the free-range eggs. What a great company they are. And Kangaroo Island Spirits, if you haven't tried, you must. This is a world-class distillery in Kangaroo Island, set up, as you've all heard, by a couple who just said, we reckon we can do this. And held to high quality being the benchmark, the hallmark of their company. And look what they've done with it. I have a George the Farmer doll now. Thank you very much, Ben. And I'll be reading the books to see if that's something that we ought to be introducing to more of our kids. So today you've had just a sample of the excellence of South Australia and the excellence that's available to this region. I thank my three fellow ministers who've been so involved today, Minister Maher, Minister Bignell, and of course, above all, the person who's been the driving force of these summits, Jeff Brock. And I thank all of you for showing up, because we're all very busy. And to take time out from your businesses, from the council work that you do, from the education work that you do, to take that time out to spend together is a sacrifice, but it's worth it, because that's how we have a path to prosperity. Thank you.